gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Stuck in the Middle podcast.
Chip,
I'm
chip,
one of your
chip.
hosts, Uncle AK.
Hey, I'm Reflex, man. AK, how you feeling? We got a special guest in the building, man. Before we introduce the guest, man, how you feeling, bro?
Yo, the weatherman.
Yeah, bro.
Yesterday went from
80
to,
what, now 40?
yeah, something like that.
That's how you get sick out here, bro.
Yeah, dog.
But it was good, though. It was good. I got to see a friend out from Cali. You know, she came down here for a week. But, yeah, I ain't seen her in, like, 7 years. So we went, you know what I'm saying? We kicked it. It was good. It was good stuff. It was good stuff. Yeah,
Look
man.
at you, man.
What you mean?
Meeting up with old friends.
Hey, man, you
catching
got
up,
to.
stuff
You
like
got
that.
to. I read something on Twitter. It was like, you know, like when you adults and you just got to hit up people every now and then. Be like, how you doing? You know what I mean? Like people go through stuff, you know. So, you know, just check up on people. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's necessary.
I'm definitely going I'm going to adopt that philosophy, but all right.
Yes, sir.
Hey, who we got in the building today?
Now, we have Miss Maryland, United States 2017 in the building.
Hi.
Miss Dominique Mone, welcome to Stuck in the Middle podcast, yo.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Dang. Like, you
The
are,
Crown, though.
Yeah, The Crown.
The Crown, man.
You like it?
It's that TV show on Netflix. What's it
The
called?
Crown?
Is it The Crown? Yeah.
Never
It's
seen
just
it.
exactly.
It's like the
just
same
like
thing.
that.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
it?
I like that show, actually.
I
Like,
feel like
that
it
show
may
is-
not be as heavy though.
Is it heavy?
This is heavy.
How many carats is that?
I don't know.
You should know that.
I don't have asked so many
I do
questions.
not know. All I know is it's
Is this
heavy
real
and
steel?
it's
Is it
mine.
real diamonds? Like,
No,
all these
it's
different
not
questions.
real diamonds.
Nah,
If
you
it
should have
was
said
real,
that.
I
You should have
don't-
stunned it. You should have been like, damn, this joint is like 50
No,
carats.
no need to flex. It's not real diamonds, but it is real crystal Swarovski, and I love it.
Do you got to give it back?
I don't. It's mine
Everything.
forever.
Okay, now what do you call this? Is a sash, right?
This is a sash.
So we trying to get the dumb questions out the way. this is Miss Pageantry for dummies right now.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
101.
Like, I like, you know what I'm saying? She's like all composed, man. Like,
Is this something I had to learn? Like, the posture, you know? You just
50-50. I feel
50-50?
like you kind of come with it
Yeah,
a
yeah,
little
yeah.
bit, but it is something you have to learn in order to, you know, do what you need to do as far as interview, different things like that.
now there is a little bit of an accent. I'm catching the accent. Where's that from?
I'm a Jamaican American woman.
Uh-huh.
I was born in the States and raised in Montego Bay, Jamaica.
Boop, 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 bleep, bleep. So, I'm just kidding.
I'm like, where did I go?
You know how Jamaicans be like, bleep, bleep, bleep. Yeah, but
So do you party like Jamaicans?
Do I what?
Do you party like the Jamaicans?
Oh, I know how to have fun.
oh,
you-
okay.
oh,
Yes.
okay.
All
I
right.
know you're
Okay.
from-
So all this, you know, this
Composed
glamour,
now,
composure should not.
It's
fool
out
us,
the
huh?
window, you know what I'm saying? When it's time to come out the shell, it's out the window.
I mean, I'm human. If
Hey.
that's what you're asking.
Hey,
Yes, I have a
nobody's
good
perfect, right?
time. I
Uh-huh.
know
You
how
gotta
to
be
dance.
nice for what? To this, you know what I mean?
Yeah, all of that.
So what you know what I'm saying? Like who is Dominique Mone? For cats listening right now, who is Miss Maryland, United States 2017? Who's Dominique Mone?
Yeah.
Well, first, I mean, I would say, that sounds so. It's a big question, I guess.
It's a big question.
Yeah, I mean, I'm human.
Mm-hmm.
I am a real person.
Mm-hmm.
I like to have a good time. I'm just like anybody else. I just do a little bit more with a title and a crown.
So, all right, a better question then. How did you get into this
Yeah.
whole pageantry?
Funny story. It's a funny story.
Let's get
I
into it.
actually was on Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm a bucket list kind of girl, cross things off your bucket list, and I saw an ad for the Miss Maryland USA pageant, and I just literally signed up. That's
Just
how
like
it
that.
happened. Just like
that.
that.
Had
Just
you had
like that.
had you had like, you know, like you had no previous experience?
No experience. I done a little modeling. I was a cheerleader, like those type of. You have bubbly
Mm-hmm.
kind of personality. Those type of things played a part in this, but that's all that happened really.
Did you know what you were getting into, and like was it what you expected?
No, not at all. I didn't know what to expect. I just know that it looked really fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw people doing it on TV, like Miss USA, different things like that. And I was like, why not? Let's just try it. And it wasn't until my second year competing that I really realized what goes into these pageants.
But what goes into it, yo?
So much
Like,
goes into these pageants.
Like, you know what I mean? Like the fundraisers. I don't know. Like, you know,
Those
so
are
what-
crazy
yeah.
things. Like,
It's
like
a
the
lot.
crazy parts.
Fundraising is a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Doing things in your community is a big thing as well. I think it's actually one of the most important things. But, you know, you do need a coach. You do need dedication, the time, effort. You need to be able to do all of those things. And also you just have to be a good representation of, you know, what you think a good woman in the society in America is. And that's the type of person that I am. And I just went for it. And I just try to be the best that I can be.
I mean, I'll be truthful, dog. Like, I never knew there was something called Miss Maryland USA.
USA.
I didn't even know. You know, shout out to Ali Move of Health Expo. Because I create for our health, and she kept saying Miss US. I mean Miss Maryland. Miss
USA,
Maryland.
pulling up. Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, that's a big deal, man. You know what I'm saying?
What is that? So yeah, I mean, you had an opportunity to attend that
Health Expo.
the Health Expo, their second Health Expo. How was that?
Yes, it was actually my first. It was her second, but I had so much fun. It was just a good event. I can't even put it in any other words. There were so many people that were there. The mayor, Mayor Pugh, was there. A lot of children were there, and it's just good to see people, entrepreneurs, doing things that are good for the community and good for your health as well.
It's a health expo, and you know what I'm saying, before we went live, you mentioned you're big on health.
I am
and
big
you know
on
what I'm saying,
health.
one thing that people may or may not know about you, you're a lupus survivor. Is that the same thing Selena Gomez had?
It is.
Yeah.
It's
What is
called
that?
What is that?
systematic lupus erythematosus. It is a autoimmune disease, and it's basically when my immune system attacks my organs. So it could be my kidneys, my liver, different things like that. I've been hospitalized for reasons like that, and it's just something that I live with. 2 years in now, so I cope just like everyone else. It's a hard thing to live with, but you can do it.
Man, I had, like, you
Anyone
know what I'm saying,
can do
like
it.
I have, for people like me who have no idea what it like, is it like pains or?
So it's basically things that I deal with on a daily basis, I should say, to make it less serious, because you don't want to scare people away. It's something that is hard to live with, but people can live with it. Okay, there's no cure, but things that I deal with is joint pain, hair loss. It's one of the things that you may notice on your website. I have wigs that I wear for my pageants because I have dealt with hair loss, and I keep my hair short for reasons like that. Just when I get sick, you can get sick in a couple of days, be over it. Not so much for me. It'll take a long time for me to recuperate, and it's just something that's hard, but it's manageable.
Is it genetic?
It is passed down. I don't have anyone in my intermediate family, but my second cousin actually has it. I don't know how that happened, but yeah, it is.
What's the percentage of people, in doing research, it's like it's more common in Black women?
Yes, it is. It's very common. It's actually 1 in every 4 African American women have lupus. There's different types of lupus. There's one that can affect your skin, your hair, and your nails, and it will do damage, spotting, different things, what we call the butterfly rash, which is a big rash that you get on your face, and it literally looks like a butterfly. And it affects them differently. So it's a hard thing, I will be honest, but
Now, did that influence, like, did you translate that into the pageantry? Is that something that you advocating for now, with your title, with your crown?
So I'll be honest, Flex, when I first started pageantry, actually, I didn't really have a platform, and we see breast cancer awareness, we see autism awareness, but sometimes that's just words. It's different when you're living what you're talking about. And it wasn't until I competed the third time. I had just got diagnosed in 2016, and I had something to tell. Now, I was going through depression, all kind of things when I got out of the hospital. I lost a lot of weight. I wasn't in good physical shape. So I had to really focus my energy on what I'm going to do. And that was one of the things that I did to help me cope with the illness that I had, to kind of, like, you go through different things in your life and you try to think of something else so you don't have to worry about it, right? That's what I did. So I actually competed Maryland, USA, and I didn't place at all. And I almost gave up completely. And I tried a different system, United States system, and I took home the crown. And I had the most emotional crowning moment because it was special. You know what I mean? Like, you go through something like that almost kills you, and you can bounce back with something shiny. It's like, it's everything.
How much is the rain? Like, how much, what's your rain?
So we get a year.
A year.
But to me, work never stops. Once a queen, always a queen. You don't even have to have a crown to do the things that I do. I just like to be that advocate for people. I'm only 23. So as a young African American woman, it's a lot of women that are going through different things. And it was important for me to step out and get involved in all kinds of things, from breast cancer awareness to multiple sclerosis to autism to battered women, all kind of things. I've done all of that, and I love it.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Like, it's a year ain't enough for that, but so you answered that joint so perfect. What's the queen? What's the
It
queen?
never stops. It
I
never
dig
stops.
that. I dig that. So what are you involved with now, as far as like what I'm saying? Now that your tenure is over.
So I do different things. I do Fashion Rocks Autism, which is every year in September, October, around that time. I just finished up the multiple sclerosis fashion show with Nora. She's amazing. She had a beautiful, shout out to Nora. She had a beautiful event. One of her close family members passed away from it recently, and just being in the room, it was just such a beautiful show, and it was for such a great cause. Her family gave poems, there was a choir there, and different things like that. So whenever I see anything, to be honest, I find things on Facebook. You don't have to wait till people come to me. I don't have to do that. I get out and do what I want to do.
That's what it's about.
And so I find these things on Facebook, and I go. Or I contact the owner and say, I would love to be a part of this. And that's how I get my community involved as well. That way I'm active every year.
Right. How many girls actually run for this pageant?
So
show?
I've competed with girls up to about 80. I've competed against, and that goes down to top
80.
15,
She came out
top
with
10, top 5. I've also competed with smaller amounts, around 50, and I've competed with less than 15 before. So it's a lot. I'll be honest. I will be honest. It is a lot. So many girls can make you a little like nervous. And even if you have all the confidence in the world, it's easy to get shooken up when you have different heights, different demographics.
Different shapes.
And things that you think the society wants to see. But I was just blessed with the opportunity to be that Caribbean, short hair, fun, feisty girl that loves to have fun but loves to get work done. So.
Tell us a little bit about the different things you had to go through to become Miss Maryland in terms of the activities.
So working out was the number one thing I had to do. I told you my health wasn't 100%. So I actually was at Merit Athletic Club in Towson every night after work. And at the time when I was preparing, it takes a couple months, 6 to 9 months to really prepare for a pageant season. And I was there every night till about midnight. I got off work around 10, maybe 9:30 sometimes.
Were you in school?
Sometimes. Yes, I'm a full-time student, Morgan State Bear.
Shout out.
So all of this, it's time management, but working out consistently, eating healthy, keeping up with my time, making sure that I have enough time to sleep, take care of my health as well while preparing for stuff like that. So those are the type of things that were really big for me. But also little things that I did. I remember walking around the halls and making sure my posture was in check. Like, you're leaning. You're not really in good posture right now.
Shoot, let me get my
you
posture
have
straight.
to. Yeah, these are things that you learn. So I used to walk around
yeah.
the halls, and I would make sure that my neck was up so I looked taller. I'm only 5'3", so I have to work with what the Lord
Fun
gave
size,
me.
you know what I mean?
So those are the type of things that I did, and I also made sure that whenever I'm speaking to anyone, even if it's just lunch with my friends, I'm maintaining that eye contact. Different things that I can do to make sure you're listening to me, you're tuned
play
in.
No games, yo.
Yeah.
Exactly what
So
she's
it's
doing
like
right now.
things that you So things that you do in your life, you don't realize how much it can prepare you, but you just need that step. And I have an excellent coach. His name's Martis Hall. Shout out to him.
Did they provide that for you? You had to
They
do?
did not.
Oh, damn.
And you have to pay, but it's worth it.
So like the fundraiser, and I also like, you know what I'm saying, you had to pay your own. It was in Florida.
Oh my goodness, yes.
The pageant was in Florida.
The pageant was in Orlando,
You
Florida.
had to-
Nationals was in Orlando, Florida. State pageant was in Annapolis.
Dang. They don't, you know what I'm saying? It's like, just pull up, you take care of your own hotel, everything
Yes,
like
you know,
that.
I
That's
can't
crazy.
go into everything. There are some things that I don't want to ruin for girls that are thinking of competing.
Facts.
But I do know that in order to compete in any type of pageant, you will need good time management. You will need dedication, because the reality is you're competing against so many girls. The odds are not always great. You may not always win. You may not always place. But you have to be prepared to take what you learn and go on to the next year and, you know, be consistent. And also you have to save your money. It's not cheap. It's not cheap at all. And planning, it's just very important. I remember when I went to nationals, I was actually in Florida for 3 weeks. 1 week was to spend time with my old roommate. I used to live in Miami for my first degree in fashion design, and we had a blast. So I spent that time with her in Lakeland, Florida, and then the second week was actually nationals in Orlando. I didn't take home the crown, but it was an excellent experience, and I actually had my boyfriend Kendrick, my mother, and my sister come, and we just enjoyed the rest of the time. It was like a little vacation. It was actually a resort, so it was everything, and I took every moment and just lived in it.
So tag that with, you know what I'm saying, like how significant is, you know, pageantry for like the little girl watching right now, you know what I mean? Like just tag that. It's like, why should she aspire to that? How significant is it, you know what I'm saying? Like how significant is it? Yeah.
It's important. I think that just like doing sports as you're growing older, you do it to get involved, to work on team building, to work on bettering yourself. You learn if you're a leader. Not everyone is a leader. That's the hard truth. But you learn those things in playing soccer or different things as you're growing up. And this is just one of those things. So I cheered and I ran track. But some of the things that I remember learning in doing that as a captain and some of the times that I cheered is some of the things that I see with pageantry. You know what I mean? You have to be able to remember that you're in a room full of beautiful girls. Everyone wants this. Everyone feels like they deserve this, but the reality is only one person's going home with that crown. So for that young girl that's thinking or afraid or intimidated, don't be. There's no reason to be. You just have to perfect your own craft. Nobody is going to be the same. And you have to bring what you bring to the table and just really execute that. And that will be your ticket in, and that's how you'll get your crown.
Dang. I like it.
The way you're sitting and the way you're talking, you know, it's like you've really mastered that craft. So do you ever snap out of it? Do you have moments when you just this other person, or you always this
You know,
person?
my mom and my sister have this funny thing that they say with me. So like I said, I'm just like everyone else. I have a crown and I have a sash, and just like anything else, being a part of an organization or just working for a company, you're not going to act out in those fields when you know you're on duty, or you know you're representing that organization or whatever it may be. So I do the same thing. There's a certain way you have to carry yourself. Now, some people, carry themselves with and without the crown the same way. But I will say that I am realistic. I'm a real person. There's moments where I can get upset. There's moments that I can have a little, oh, no, she didn't kind of moments. But, you know, it's a part of life.
It's a part of the black girl magic
It's a part
package.
of life.
Nah, man. So now, you know what I'm saying? Like, you mentioned this crown is your third time competing. And from, you know, that's different. Miss United States Maryland is kind of like, you speak of the distinction, the differences, people who don't know. Like, this is Miss Maryland United States.
This is Miss Maryland United States 2017. And congratulations to my successor, Allison Kratz, on winning Miss Maryland United States 2018. I'm so excited for your reign. So there are so many different systems. I'm so glad you asked about this, Flex, because I think that people that aren't in the pageant industry, they definitely don't know, and they wouldn't know. But you have different systems like international, you have Caribbean United States, you have USA, you have America. There's so many different systems. So it's important to do your research when you're trying to figure out what you want to do, because each one brings different things. Some do scholarships, some do prize packages, some do nothing at all, some do community service, and each one is different. I have a lot of friends in the pageant industry that have done a significant amount of different systems. I have only done USA and United States. So that's the difference. There's so many different Miss Marylands. I know I go to a school where I have another Miss Maryland, but she's in a different system. Her name's Shanita. She's an amazing girl. She's also a Morgan State Bear. But we're just in two different systems, but we're equally the same.
I'm confused.
Don't be confused,
I am very
AK.
confused because you said USA
Maryland,
and United States.
Uh-huh.
What is the difference? Because I mean, please help me here. Help me.
So we represent America. We represent the United States of America. Okay. But there's different national pageants. So have you ever heard of Miss USA?
Yeah.
You've seen it on TV.
I've heard about it.
A lot of people have seen it on TV. It's a huge, huge thing. I have not been blessed with the opportunity to do that yet. I'm in the United States system. We have a national pageant. It is recorded, but it is not televised. So that's the difference. The national levels are way different. You have Universe is after USA. After United States, like you win Miss United States, which my friend Rachel Todd won. Congratulations to you, Rachel. she is done. She doesn't have to compete again. She just has that title for the year, as Miss United States. So different systems, it really just depends on the national level, and that's what it is.
Gotcha.
Okay?
You're 23 years old. I'm sure, you know what I'm saying? Of course, this is not your life. You're still in school?
I am still in
Where you
school. I
studying?
graduate in December.
So you are passionate about not weddings, but decors.
So I actually am very, very interested in weddings. You're
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
My bad.
So my ultimate
The word,
goal,
I was trying not to look at my notes, but the word escaped me. But yeah, go ahead.
it's
my bad.
okay. My ultimate goal is to become a wedding planner.
Yeah,
I
that's
am
there we go.
with all things love related, and that's my goal. And I work as a bridal consultant now, so I help ladies find their dream dress, and I love it. So yeah.
Where where are you in? Is that what you're studying right now in Morgan?
So at Morgan, I'm studying fashion merchandise. So that
Same thing, yeah.
When you graduate, what would be your official title? When you
So the
graduate?
degree is actually called Family and Consumer Science with a target in fashion merchandise.
That sounds
It's my
fancy.
BA.
That's hell.
That sounds
Bachelor's,
fancy.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you watch Say Yes to the Dress and all that?
I grew up watching Say Yes to the Dress, but it's a certain technique you learn when helping a bride find her dress, and that show can confuse you and brides. So I try to stay away from it now, to be honest.
She said that in a specific way. Only people who watching right now can peep that.
Oh
Man, so you aspire, you know what I'm saying? You aspire to say yes to a dress one day, I believe, yeah? So what do you do? Top?
Hold on, my bad, dog. Hold on. Repeat that degree again for me.
It's called Family and Consumer Science.
It sounds like
Fashion
I said, it sounds
merchandise.
fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds fancy. Top three wedding dresses. Like, I don't know, the styles or whatever.
Styles, I am petite, so I would not necessarily go with the A-line gown, which is what others would look at as a ball gown. I would probably do something like a fit and flare, which is fitted around the hip, a little straighter throughout the knee, or a mermaid, which is fitted all the way to the knee with a huge flare at the bottom. It definitely will have a nice, sexy back. Still elegant, and it will probably be ivory, but I'm not getting married anytime soon. So,
Bro, this is how you know I'm lacking in certain parts
Yes.
of life.
Hey,
Because
man,
I don't know what she just described, but I'm like, okay, cool.
you asked, so I'm telling you.
That's why I
Somebody
did-
out there knows what I'm talking about.
That's why I dig this. You learn every day.
Yeah.
You've had an opportunity to, like coach young brides, I'm sure. What's the craziest thing that, you've had to experience? Like a girl coming in, looking for a dress.
I've heard all kind of stories of what inspires them for their theme of their weddings, but I think the most extravagant one that I heard was a Game of Thrones wedding.
Dang.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but I was told there was going to be board games and people are going to be in costume. And I know this sounds very extreme and it sounds like I could possibly be making it up, but I promise I am not. And when I was listening to her, I'm like, what kind of dress can I make for a woman or help a woman find that is appropriate for a theme of Game of Thrones?
Game of
Do you know
Thrones.
what
Game
Game
of
of Thrones
Thrones,
is?
yeah.
You look a little
Yeah,
confused.
Now, he been
No.
watching that.
No.
joint,
No,
yeah.
I was thinking if Game of Thrones actually have
Like
like a
the-
legit
like a-
wedding scene
This It's the theme of it.
Yeah.
or the theme of
And
it.
I've also heard like
I want to see something like that.
yeah, I don't know if I would.
I mean, would you say what's the word I'm looking for? Anyways,
Did you
continue.
pull it off?
Did I pull it
Yeah,
off?
did you find
I
her
helped
something?
her find a dress. Yes, the dress was very conservative, had a lot of lace, and it was fit and flare.
So is it like a modern day Game
Nah,
of Thrones
you
thing?
gotta be
or-
like
I
that.
don't know. We have to ask the bride. I have no idea, but I think that was the craziest thing I've ever experienced in that industry. But it's all about the bride, and it's a special moment. I get so excited when I see them find their dress, and the tears, and the happy dances, and the champagne, and it's just like it's a good time. So I love it.
When's the last time you've been to the islands?
I have not been in about 6 years.
Plan on going anytime soon.
I have to finish school first. So those are recreational visits, good visits to visit family. I don't really have time right now, but I do get to see my family. They come here. They're in Florida. So
You here by yourself?
I'm
Oh,
not.
they're in Florida.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was about to say, they're in the island. Live out here. Dang, that's tough, though. That's tough.
What's the best advice you got? Since you joined the whole pageant industry or pageantry industry?
So there are, I'll be honest, I don't know if you guys would know this, but there are girls that compete for reasons like just winning, just for bragging rights. There's girls that compete just to build self-esteem. There's girls that compete just to try something new, like I did that time. And there's girls that actually want to do things in the community, and this just gives them the microphone. Nobody got the joke. I was making a whole joke. You weren't paying attention.
My bad.
Just put some in the limelight. Yeah.
Okay, my jokes are a little corny, but I'm working on it. So I would say that if you're going to do anything, not just pageantry, just make sure that you're doing it for the right reasons. It just makes sense because you're spending thousands of dollars every year to compete for these pageants. You have to make a dress. You have to find a dress. You have to take care of room and board, shoes. Some people do spray tans. Some do extensions, makeup artists, all those type of things. It costs money. So don't waste your money if you're not really serious about it. Now, some people compete every year for different things. I'm one that just likes to, I don't have to do all that just to show what I can do in the community. I continue to do what I want to do in the community. So I would just make sure that if you're competing or you're interested, make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. You've saved up your money. You've really done your research on the different organizations or the different systems, because it definitely plays a part in your whole pageant experience.
Yeah.
When was that one time, right, you felt like throwing in the towel, like you were like, to hell with this? What was it, and how did you, push yourself forward?
Yeah, like you're 23, you've been through a lot. Like, so walk us through how you, pick yourself up, yeah.
So in the pageantry, as far as pageant type of question, what I did, I think the biggest thing for me was when I got diagnosed in 2016 and I had planned on competing in November. I got out the hospital in July and the pageant was in November. So that's not a lot of time to build up self-esteem after you've been depressed for being sick so long, not understanding why this is happening to you, getting physically active so that you look the par, and just having the funds. If you've been out of work for a couple months, because you haven't been working, you don't have the money like you would.
Facts.
So it's stuff like that. And I had to also really do some soul searching and praying and making sure that I was doing the right thing. So when I did not place at all in that particular pageant, I really felt like, what am I going to do? You know what I mean? I put all my time and my energy into this thing that I have not gained anything from. And it was then that I was introduced to other pageants, systems for my coach. And I remember thinking, it's a lot cheaper. It's different. There's a different crowd. There's a lot of different things you can do in this system. And I had people doubt me just because it was my second pageant and I hadn't won, but realistically, I know girls that have competed 7-8 times and haven't won, and it wasn't until the 9th time that they took that crown home. That happens. So I remember just thinking, what am I going to do? There's no point in me competing. I started to lose hope in that moment, but it was like, you know what? Suck it up. Just try it. You have nothing to lose. You had everything that you competed in, dress, swimsuit, everything you had already used. You don't have to repurchase these things. So I just was like, let me just do it. I did it. And it worked out. I wish I could show you guys my video. It was just a beautiful moment. And it was everything that I used in one competition. I took it to another system and it
paid off. Nice, man.
Nobody said, you used that last year. So it's not one person?
No, it was literally months apart. There wasn't. And that actually happens quite a bit. Let me tell you, these pageant dresses are not cheap. A lot of this
Shoot.
Everything is not cheap.
Shoot.
This is
I
not
took
cheap.
it to the tailor and said, "Can you lose this?"
Right. So I took it and I said, why not? Because I didn't have I wasn't like, I'm gonna win this. It was just like, why not? And if it doesn't work this time, then maybe it's not mine.
Yeah.
But it worked, and that's
fall down 9
God
times,
speaking by itself.
get up
yeah.
10. You know what I mean? Hey,
Flex, I see you guys on rapid fire questions, man.
We have come to that part of this, podcast where I don't know if you're ready for this. You ready?
I don't know.
Yeah, we hit you with, some rapid fire questions, and you only have a maximum of 3 words to answer.
And a second to answer.
Yeah.
Okay, so you asked me a question.
Yeah,
I give
rapid.
you 3 words.
Yeah, rapid fire.
No, he asked you a question and you just answer rapid
fire.
back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah.
No time to think.
Oh my
just,
God, I may or
it's
may
not a
not
lot.
be good at this.
It's not a lot. It's
Are you
just
gonna
fun.
laugh at me if I do?
Who, me?
I feel like you're gonna laugh.
He probably
Why?
gonna laugh.
Don't laugh, okay, AK? I'm ready.
You ready?
Give it to me straight.
All right, there we go. Favorite place.
Puerto Rico.
Favorite song.
Love Don't Cost a Thing.
Bye.
I don't know. This is me guessing.
That's
But
no
go
job.
ahead.
But that's not your favorite food.
Lasagna.
What do you do in your free time?
Listen to music.
Top 3 things on your bucket list.
Graduate. Get engaged. And live happily ever after.
Oh, shit. Hey, worst meal you've had. Look at AK.
I don't like sushi.
You don't like, the accent is tough. You don't like sushi.
Yeah, me
favorite
too.
meal. Oh, you already answered that. Eat out or cooking?
Cooking.
Why?
Because I feel like you eat out enough, it gets nasty after a while.
And then you get cholesterol, you put
Yeah,
weight, you know what
and
I'm
it's
saying?
healthier.
And the crown can't fit. Yo, appreciate you.
that was
you.
it?
Yeah, that was it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's fun. You know what
That
I'm saying? I
wasn't
told you it was
really
going to be
quick.
fun.
Come on now. I thought you was going to give me some good ones.
Some, oh, shit.
No,
Yeah,
no,
she
that doesn't mean.
Hey, reach in that bag, man. Pull out the real ones.
always gotta ask our guests this. What is success to you, Dominique?
Success, to me, is something that you make it. It's what makes you happy. Ultimately, it's what makes you want to keep going. Want to give you hope in the morning, and when you're down, different things. That's the type of thing. It could be as little as I want to graduate. I've never graduated. No one in my family has graduated. Just you pushing every morning to get up, go to class. So it's whatever makes you happy, and what you can see yourself doing for the rest of your life. That's success to me. That's what you want to do. That's your success. My success is going to be my success.
Amen.
I like it.
How can people reach you on social?
So I am on Instagram at _Dominique Mone. And that's about it. That's what I'm going to share with you guys. Everything else is a little personal for my family. But I would love to connect with you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a message. I'm very kind.
You are.
Thank you. Any questions, I'm here to help. And any appearances you'd love me to do as far as, health, just anything, I'm excited to get involved. So
Hey,
Let's
man.
make her wear this crown more often, man.
Yeah, man. That's
right, put it to use. A year's not enough. It's too shiny
It's too
and heavy.
You know what I mean? The carrots. Hey, next time somebody asks you how many
Tell 'em
carrots
it's
it is,
real.
tell them it's real. Don't
Okay,
tell them it's
flex.
not real. You know what I mean?
It's
Yeah.
real enough.
It's real enough. Hey, I like it. It's what you make it to be. Hey, AK.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you coming through, Dominique. This was fun. This was fun.
Thank you. It was fun.
Learned a
Learned
lot.
It
Yeah.
a
was
thing or two.
fun.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. I'm going to try to, find me a posture. And just
Yeah, we're
get
gonna
up
have
like
to work
this.
on that.
I'm
Definitely.
going to sit straight up. Either way, I gotta find something.
You have
Although I
to try.
appreciate you for coming
Practice.
through. Practice.
Yeah,
Practice,
practice
is
makes perfect. You know,
Practice makes
yeah.
perfect.
If you like what you've heard, please rate us on your favorite podcast streamer, iTunes. It helps people to view us better. Follow us on all social, SITM Podcast, and please send us an email, sitmpodcast237@gmail.com. And
Subscribe to our YouTube channel as
Yes,
well.
sir. Yes,
SITM
sir.
Podcast.
Yeah.
Next week, who we have next week, bro?
Next week, why you asking
Oh, next
me?
week we're sitting down. Next week we're sitting down with the team of social media analysts of DNR Talent Management.
Yeah, I'm looking forward
It's
to that.
it's a fashion company. Yeah, so we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, we're sitting down with their management team.
Yeah, management team and also one of their models. So pretty much the whole team will be here.
Dope.
And yeah.
Hey, this episode has been brought to you in partnership with Perfect Office Solutions, providing office space to entrepreneurs in the DMV area. Let them know we sent you. This is, what I'm saying. It's, you got a business. It sounds legit when you say, come to my office, you know what I mean? And somebody pull up into an actual office. So take advantage of that. If you're a hairdresser, tailor, I don't know what you do, you know what I'm saying? Get you an office space with Perfect Office Solutions. Let them know we sent you. Use promo code SITM Podcast. You get 10% off your lease. That's that. It don't get no better than that. You feel me?
And shout out to all those entrepreneurs who've been using the SITM Podcast code to get them some office space.
Yes, sir.
Let's say teamwork, two heads is better than one. If you're an entrepreneur, you know what I mean, what better way to go about than to connect with other entrepreneurs too. You're all in the same space,
building, you know what I mean? Yeah.
So
Hey, Perfect Office Solutions, right?
yep.
Yes, sir. Hey, we had the pleasure of talking with Dominique Mone, Miss Maryland, United States,
Yes.
2017.
Hold on, wait a minute now. We need to say it right.
Go ahead.
Say it again.
We need to say it right. You know what I mean?
Miss Maryland, United States.
Me
There we
not
go,
not go mess it
Flex.
up no more. Nah, I'm just kidding. Let
Flex.
me stop. Let me stop. Miss Maryland, United States, 2017. Dominique Mone.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah,
for
Stuck in the
having
Middle.
me.
Hey, no doubt. Thank you for coming through. Stuck in the Middle podcast.
We out.